This is episode 55 of the Online Playmaker Sessions with myself, Norbert Orlewicz, to help you create your 3-step marketing plan for 2017.
Welcome to the Online Playmaker Sessions. This is the place for the latest What's Working Now strategies from the best online playmakers, the top marketers, the rising stars who are making it happen right now. Every week, you'll get real, actionable lessons that you can take and apply immediately in your business, delivered in short 20-minute sessions. Our focus is your results. Here's your host, entrepreneur, world-class trainer, and marketing strategist, Norbert Orlewicz.
Hello, online playmakers. If this is your first time tuning into the Playmaker Sessions, thank you for choosing us, and don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, and if you prefer video, our YouTube channel at onlineprofitplaybook.tv. As with all of our episodes, we have all the show notes, transcripts, and actionable tips over on the blog. Just head over to www.onlineprofitplaybook.com. You'll also be able to get access to my complimentary 5-video tutorial series on building the proper foundation for your online business, as well as several other free trainings, including my Instant Income Multiplier tutorial. And if you're ready to multiply your results fast, check out the premium membership of our Online Profit Playbook, where our guests open up their closely guarded playbooks and walk you step by step through the exact marketing funnels and sales process they use to build their audience, grow their influence, and make sales. Get the coveted Online Profit Playbook today. Just head over to onlineprofitplaybook.com and join the Playmakers. All right, welcome back. Episode 55 here of the Online Playmaker Sessions, and today's going to be a little bit of a different episode. I decided for this first episode here for 2017, I want to do a bit of a specific training, a recap, and review, and make sure that you guys have a plan to make 2007 your best year ever. You know, there's a lot of talk right now. At the beginning of 2017, everyone's talking about making 2007 your best year ever. Everyone's talking about creating goals, setting goals, and what are you going to do to achieve and make 2017 awesome? Well, I want to help you guys to create a very specific action plan that you can execute on and actually create results and improve and grow your business in 2017. And I want to simplify this for you, keep it really simple, and really show you guys the fundamentals of online business. And as you know, if you've been following my training for any amount of time, I like to focus on the fundamentals, because what I've seen over the last 10 years in this industry, it's the people who understand the fundamentals. It's the marketers that work the fundamentals day in and day out on a consistent basis that create results. Forget about gimmicks, forget about hype, forget about the latest trends. I mean, it's great to hop on the latest trend, but gimmicks and tricks and hacks are not going to build a sustainable business for you. The only way you're going to grow a profitable, successful, and sustainable long-term income online in this industry is to understand the fundamentals and work the fundamentals day in and day out. And that's what I want to lay out for you guys here today. Now, if you're listening to this podcast on iTunes, there is a visual component to this training here today. So I do encourage you to head on over to the website, onlineprofitplaybook.com, and check out the video. You're going to want to watch the video along with this tutorial. You can listen to the audio if you're in your car. That's great, but you will definitely want to get the visuals for this. So you'll definitely want to head on over to the website and watch the video, or head on over to YouTube, onlineprofitplaybook.tv. Check out the video on YouTube. That's fine as well, but you definitely want to get the visuals for this as well. All right, let's jump in and let's get started here. All right, so this is actually a training that I did at a workshop recently, and it really helped a lot of the marketers there to better understand online marketing, better understand how all the pieces of the puzzle fit together. Now, what we've been doing here at the Online Profit Playbook over the last year is I've been interviewing different marketers and I've been getting them to open up their playbooks. So inside the premium membership, which you can get access to, usually we've got a trial going on, so you can get access to that. It's very, very affordable, and I highly recommend you take advantage of that. Inside the membership, what I have is I have the different marketers actually reveal one of their marketing processes, one of their marketing strategies. You actually have them open up their computer and walk us through the process that they use to grow their audience, to generate leads, and to make sales. That's literally what I'm going to be walking you through here today as well. But what I want to do is I want to basically summarize what all of those playbooks are built on, because what's amazing is as you watch the different playbooks over the last year from all the people that I've interviewed, you'll start to notice that there is a similarity, okay? Now, they might do completely different strategies. They might even be in completely different niches. They might be selling different products and services. But all of that doesn't matter, because all of online marketing can be essentially condensed down to 3 very critical steps. Okay, this is the 3-step formula of all successful 6, 7, and 8, 9-figure businesses online. Now, this formula was taught to me very early on by one of my first mentors, and we've been teaching and training this formula since we launched MLSP back in 2008. And this formula has never changed. It's not going to change. It doesn't matter what new social media platforms come out or what new hacks come out. The formula is essentially the same for every online business. And so if we're going to be building a marketing plan to grow our business in 2017, well, it just makes sense that we build our marketing plan based upon these 3 steps. So that's what we're going to do here today. So the first step here, and let's just hope that I can draw properly here. The first step here is to build your audience. That is an E. Build your audience, okay? The second step here is to engage with your audience, develop relationship with your audience. Okay, when we talk about developing a relationship with your audience, getting them to know, like, and trust you, we talk about creating engagement. This is what we're talking about, is the second step here, engaging your audience. And then finally, the third step, once we've done all that, now we can sell to our audience. Okay, so what you'll notice inside of the Online Profit Playbook membership is each one of the playbooks are broken down and separated into these 3 steps: building your audience, engaging with your audience, and number 3, selling to your audience. All right, so let's focus first of all on building your audience. What does that mean? Now, if you've been around for any amount of time online, you've probably heard the concept of build your list. Okay, and that's something that was touted, back in 2008, 2009, 2010, when I got started online. Everyone was talking about build your list, build your list, build your list, and what they were talking about was building your email list. Okay, so getting people to opt in and acquiring email subscribers so that you can then email that database on a regular basis, and you can make money that way, right? So you're building your email list. Well, today we have so many incredible platforms where we can build audiences that are just as valuable, and in some cases, in some niches, and for some business owners, in some cases, more valuable than their email list, okay? I would never say don't build your email list. I believe that building your email list is one of the critical aspects of building an audience, but here's the big distinction. Building your email list, building your list, is just one part of building your audience. And really what we want to be focused on is building your audience. So the question you want to ask is, how am I going to build my audience? Or where am I going to build my audience? Okay, so building your audience is about, number 1, building your email list. Okay, so we'll put that down there for sure, because I do definitely recommend that every single one of you are building your email list. So every single day, you should be acquiring new email subscribers to your database. Every single day, you should be growing your email list, okay? So we're actively building our audience. But we can also build a very valuable and engaged audience. Where else can we build it? Well, we can build an audience on Facebook, obviously. And with Facebook, you even have 2 options, depending on your niche, depending on your marketing strategy. You've got your Facebook profile And then you've got your Facebook business page. Okay? Those are two very distinct places where you can build an audience. Now, Facebook has other places where you can build an audience as well. So we might as well throw those in as well. You can also use Facebook groups. Okay, so some people have used Facebook groups very effectively to grow their audience and to build a successful business and to make money. Okay, but you got to be building your audience somewhere. Okay, so there's Facebook. If I miss anything, obviously add it into your own database. I'm not perfect. I may miss something here. Email list, Facebook. All right, where else can we grow our audience? Well, obviously we can grow, we can grow our audience on other social media platforms. If you're doing video marketing, you can grow an audience on YouTube, right? Very effective. Okay, the 3 most visited websites in the world are Google, Facebook, and YouTube. Okay, so YouTube is a place where you can build an audience. We can build an audience on Twitter. We can build an audience on Instagram. Okay, we can build an audience on Snapchat even. You see, there's lots of different places we can build an audience. Pinterest, we can build an audience. LinkedIn, we can build an audience, right? We can grow a network on LinkedIn. And any other social media platform that you can think of, okay? Now, you could say that you could also build an audience on your blog, right? But really, I mean, maybe that would be like an RSS feed for your blog, okay? Potentially. But we're trying to think of places where you're actually building a database, right? Twitter, you're building followers. Instagram, you're building followers. YouTube, you're building subscribers, right? Facebook, you're building, fans, people who like your page. And so then they're there on your page, and then you can communicate with them and you can send a message to them, okay? So typically we're using our blog to build one of our other audiences, ideally our email list, all right? So I'm not going to put blog on there for building an audience. I think you get the idea here, okay? And obviously there might be other places where you can build your audience. These are really the main places where we might want to build an audience, okay? So that's our first step, and we want to focus on growing that audience. All right, so the second step now in our marketing strategy is to engage with our audience. And so what engaging with our audience means is now, okay, so let's say we've built an email list, or we've built we're building likes on our fan page. We need to now engage with that audience. We need to send out content, whether it's emails, whether it's blog posts, whether it's Facebook updates, whether it's Instagram images, whether it's YouTube videos, whether it's tweets, whatever platform you're on. We now need to get content out in front of that audience to engage with our audience, to get them to like, to get them to click on a link, to get them to engage, right? To get them to comment, to get them to share, to get them to engage. And again, the purpose of this is we want to develop our relationship with that audience. We want them to get to know us. We want them to like us. We want to build trust, establish authority. Those are the key things that we're focusing on through the content that we're sharing to engage with our audience. So, what are we going to do? What are we going to do to engage with our audience? Well, we can send emails, right? Obviously, we're going to be sending emails. Now, with emails, you might have an autoresponder sequence. So what that is, if you don't know, is a series of emails that you can program into your autoresponder to go out automatically over a certain period of time. With certain increments of days. So you can send them out every single day, you can send them out every 2 days, however you want to set that up. So all the people that opt into your email list, they get put on an autoresponder sequence, and maybe they receive, a series of 5, 7, 10, maybe 30 emails over the course of several days or weeks or months. And you can set that up ahead of time, and that just goes out automatically, hands off. It's a great way to automate your engagement and your marketing process. But on top of autoresponder sequences, what we also want to be doing is we want to be sending regular broadcast emails. Okay, so this is where you might call them newsletter emails, broadcast emails. On a regular and consistent basis, you want to be communicating with your email list. So you want to be sending out regular emails. Maybe you send out one regular email a week. I definitely recommend that you send out more than one email a week. Some marketers that I've interviewed that are incredibly successful, they'll send out emails every single day. I know one of my friends, Shakir, he sends out a daily email. His emails are worth over $25,000 per email that he sends. Okay, because he's built up a big database. Every email he sends out, he literally makes $20,000 to $25,000. So he sends out his emails on a daily, consistent basis. Okay, now depending on what niche you're in, depending on what product or service you're selling, that frequency, you might want to decide on a higher or a lower frequency. The most important thing is that you are sending out consistent emails on a regular basis. Why? Because you want to stay in front of that audience. You want to stay front of mind. You want to continue to create that engagement. You want to continue to develop that relationship, build that know, like, and trust factor. Okay, so we're sending out emails to engage with our audience. Okay, next is Facebook here. So what are we doing on Facebook? Well, we would be posting on Facebook, right? So Facebook, we would regular posts on Facebook, whether this is on our profile, a group, or a business page, right? We're going to do different posts, and these could be, these could be quotes, they can be images, they can be questions, they can be statements. You can share other people's valuable blog posts or content or articles, all sorts of things like that. But you're doing regular posting on your social media. What you want to do also is maybe you want to post some videos, right? So on a regular basis, you would post maybe videos on your Facebook, images. Okay, we've got that. And now what's really hot, obviously, is Facebook Live broadcasts, right? Facebook Live broadcasts are super hot right now. So if you're building a Facebook audience, you definitely want to consider leveraging the power of Facebook Lives to get out in front of that audience, get yourself positioned in front of that audience and engage with that audience, right, to develop that relationship. So YouTube, you're posting videos, content. Okay, so you're blogging probably. So putting out a blog post is a way to engage with your audience, and that can be a written blog post or that can be a video blog post. Okay? How else can we engage with our audience? Okay? You want to think about that. How else can I engage with my audience? Well, what about Facebook Messenger? Right? Is there a way that you can start to have conversations with some of your prospects? Can you take some of the prospects from your Facebook posts or from your emails? Can you take that and change the medium and have a conversation with them in Facebook Messenger? So there's a concept that what you want to think about as you're thinking about your engagement strategy, your follow-up strategy. You want to think about this concept. How can I change the medium? How can I change the medium? How can I take my prospect from one medium to another? So if I've got, an audience on Facebook, how can I change the medium? How can I bring them over to my email list so that now we can continue that conversation in their inbox? All right. Now, how can I get them over to Facebook Messenger, where it's more of a one-on-one personal conversation, right? Maybe some of you like to use Skype or some of the other instant messaging platforms, right? Where you can now have a one-on-one instant message conversation with people. All right. Why not take that to the next level, right? Now we can also use the telephone. Okay. So these are all different methods, different strategies to engage with our audience, to change the medium, to develop our relationship, right? To get our audience to like, know, and trust us. Now, do you have to do all of this? No, absolutely not. What we're going to be doing here is we're building a marketing plan. We're going to make choices and decide what strategy am I going to focus on? What am I going to do to build my audience, to engage with my audience, and to sell to my audience? Okay, now you might choose that a telephone conversation would be appropriate. And so that's going to influence your strategy to make sure that the posts that you're creating are getting the prospect or moving the prospect towards getting on the phone with them, right? If that's your goal. Okay. Now, what else can we do to engage our audience? Well, we can do webinars, training webinars, Q&A webinars are an excellent opportunity to engage with your audience, to build that know, like, and trust factor. With MLSP, when we launched MLSP back in September of 2008, from day one, we started doing Wednesday webinars. And to this day, 2017, we're still doing weekly Wednesday webinars. And sometimes we sell something on those webinars. Many times we don't. That webinar was designed as an engagement strategy. It was a way to stay in front of the audience. And it has been one of the pillars of building that multi-million-dollar business. Okay? Because every single week, there's an MLSP webinar going. Wednesday night is MLSP webinar night. And, a large part of the industry knows that. And tons of people, whether they're prospects or members, attend those webinars and get valuable information. And they might choose to buy today. They might choose to buy weeks from now. They know about us because we're constantly in the marketplace. Okay, we're constantly engaging with the prospects. All right. So webinars are an excellent way to engage with your audience. I think we've covered some of the main ways. Okay, and obviously any type of, if you're on any of these social media platforms, obviously any type of social media posts on those platforms would be a way to engage with your audience, right? So Twitter tweets would be a way to, if you're building an audience on Twitter, obviously you're tweeting on a regular basis every day. If you're on Instagram, you're building an audience there. You're posting images on a regular basis every single day, right? On Snapchat, you're doing snaps every single day, right? So depending on what platform you're building your audience on, that's where you're going to be spending time engaging, either through video, posts, blogging, or whatever. And you want to progress them to the next step, which is selling to your audience. Step number 3. Okay, so we're building our audience, we're engaging with our audience through these activities, and now we're going to sell to our audience. So what are the ways that we can now go ahead and sell to our audience? Well, one of the simplest ways is to simply share a link. Okay, for affiliate marketers, what do we need to do? We just need to share a link to a sales page of a product or service that we're recommending. All right? We can share that in an email. We can share that on a webinar. We can share that in a Facebook message, right? It's just a simple action that we're taking. We're just sharing a link. Okay? So obviously we need a sales page. If we're selling our own products or services, we need a sales page or a sales video. Okay? So if we want to be actively selling to our audience, we have to get our audience to go watch the sales video, right? So how do we do that? Through the strategies that we choose to use to engage with our audience, we're going to move them. We're going to make sure that we're sharing links to our sales pages, our sales videos, our sales mediums, our sales materials. Okay? Think of those sales mediums. How will you sell your product or service? And depending on what product or service you're selling, depending on whether it's your product or somebody else's product as an affiliate, will determine how you're going to sell to that audience, right? Now, how else can we sell to our audience? Obviously, we can sell on a webinar. That's a very powerful way to sell to our audience. Now, this could be a webinar that we do. This could be a webinar that our affiliate does, and we just need to invite people to the webinar, okay? But we want to make sure that every single week, if we want to make sales, if we want to make money, if this is our strategy, if this is the medium that we're using here as a webinar, we want to make sure that every single week we're getting our audience onto these webinars. All right? Now, we can also sell through Instant Messenger, right? It's possible to sell through Instant Messenger. You're having a conversation in Instant Messenger, you share a link, invite them to a webinar, okay? Another way to sell is telephone conversations, right? So consultations, maybe you schedule consultation sessions, okay? That's a big way if you're selling high ticket items, if you're selling coaching or consulting, any types of services like that. Typically, you're going to want to get the person on the telephone. So you're going to have them schedule an appointment, a consultation session, maybe fill out an application to speak to you. You get on the phone, you have a consultation with them, and you make the sale. All right. If that's a strategy you're using, then obviously you want to be focusing on increasing the number of telephone conversations you have, because the more conversations you have on the phone, obviously the more sales and the more money that you're going to make. Okay. So how else can we sell to our audience? Well, we could get a little more complex. We could do something like a product launch, right? So some type of a promotion. All right, so create a promotion or an event or a product launch around something that we're selling. So, lots of marketers will do this. As an affiliate, you can leverage some of these product launches. And it's a great way to create some extra sales, to create some really great excitement and engagement, and build your audience at the same time. Okay, so these are really some of the main ways that we're focused on when we're looking at selling a product or a service. And again, it doesn't matter if it's your own or if you're selling as an affiliate. All right, so now knowing this, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new blank image here. Sure, let's just save this. Okay, so now knowing this and having these 3 steps outlined, what we want to do is actually create our own business and marketing strategy here that we want to follow. And again, inside the Online Profit Playbook, inside the membership, you're going to see lots of different examples here from different marketers. There's 54 episodes that you can go through now where you can see different case studies, different examples of different marketers and how they've structured their specific marketing strategy. Okay, what elements have they chosen? How have they put it together to build their audience, to engage with their audience, and to sell to their audience, okay? But we're going to do this right here, right now. We're going to create your own plan. So the first thing you want to do up at the top here, I'm just going to write in build your audience again, engage with your audience, and sell to your audience. All right, so we've got those 3 steps again. What we want to do is we want to work backwards. You want to start by thinking about, okay, what am I selling first? Now, we're going to create 2 different marketing strategies. I'm going to give you 2 different examples here. So let's say in the first one, what I want to sell is I want to sell my course. Now, this could be somebody else's course, but I want to sell my course here. Let's say it's going to be like a $295, $395, $495, or sort of a mid-range training course that I want to sell. And so that's the course I want to sell. I want to think about, okay, how am I going to sell this course? Okay. Now, this could be anything. This really could work for, a membership, an affiliate product, an affiliate course that you're selling, or your own course or training as well, okay? So it really will work for lots of different types of products. Let's say that it's a mid-range course that we're selling. And let's say, so if we look at selling to our audience, we're going to work backwards here, remember, okay? We have the course that we want to sell. Now, how are we going to sell it? Well, let's make a decision here. All right. All we need to do is make a decision. What we're going to decide, we've got this $297 course that we want to sell. Okay. And I'm going to decide I'm going to sell this on a webinar. Okay. That's how I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell this on a webinar. So I'm going to have to create a webinar, webinar presentation. Obviously, with a webinar presentation, you want to train and provide some amazing value for about the first 30, 40, 50 minutes, and then move into your sales pitch where you go ahead and you pitch the course. And obviously you want the training to be relevant to the topic and the benefits of the course. Okay, you obviously that's got to be related. This is not going to be a training on how to create a webinar, obviously. So we're going to choose a webinar to sell the course. So what are we going to need for that? Obviously, we're going to need webinar registration page, webinar confirmation page, and to get people on this webinar. Okay, and so now the question is, okay, how are we going to get people? We're going to work backwards, right? So how are we going to get people onto this webinar? Well, we want to think about where are we going to advertise. All right, so let's go back over to step number 1 here. Where are we going to advertise? Where are we going to build our audience? Okay, now I know that if I want to launch this quickly, I want to get in front of people as quickly as I possibly can. And if I have a $297 to $497 course, all right, I should be able to spend some advertising dollar on this and be able to at least break even, if not even be able to make a profit on this, okay, with some paid advertising. So, for me, it would make sense that I would want to, if you want to go faster, obviously you'd want to do some paid ads. Now, if you don't have any type of a marketing budget, well, that's fine. You're going to have to make some different choices. You're going to have to do some different strategies to build your audience. You're going to have to choose some lower cost marketing strategies to build your audience, okay? But let's say we're building our audience on Facebook, and I would be building my audience on a Facebook business page. All right, so now I can run ads to build my Facebook business page. Okay, build an audience there. And I can also run ads directly to the webinar registration page, which will build my email list. Okay, so here's a webinar registration page. Okay, so I can run ads directly to my webinar registration page. Now I can run these ads to the people that have already liked my page. So if I've built an audience on Facebook, if I have an audience, and I do, if I have an audience of, I think mine's up to about 16,000 people now, I can advertise, I can now run ads to that audience of 16,000 people who already know who I am. They've already liked my page. I already have some type of a relationship with them, right? So I can get those people to register for my webinar. Now I can also run ads to cold market, to other relevant targeted audiences that don't know who I am. That's fine as well, okay? And what I'll definitely want to do is I'll want to engage with that audience though, okay? So I can have a short-term plan or a long-term plan. Now I would have a long-term plan as well because I want to build an engaged audience, all right? So one of the things that I want to do to engage with that audience, obviously, as I'm building this Facebook page, is I'm going to do regular Facebook posts on my page. And I can use tools like Post Planner Pro. The names escape me right now. There's several different tools that you can use to schedule out your posts, so you're not having to post all the time yourself. We give some of those resources inside our membership. So I can be doing Facebook posts. I can be doing Facebook Lives, right, to grow my audience, to engage my audience. And what I'd also like to do is I'd like to do some blog posts. Okay. Now this is a long-term strategy. I'm not going to do all of this 1 week before I launch a webinar. All right. I know this is a long-term strategy. I know that I've got a course that I want to sell and I'm going to be selling it on a webinar, but I know that I need to build my audience long-term. All right. And I know that I need to engage with my audience with Facebook posts, with Facebook Live, and with blog posts. Okay. Now, obviously, through all of this, I need to be building my email list. Now, when I'm advertising my webinar, I'll be building my email list here, but ideally, I will want some type of an opt-in, some type of a lead magnet to generate leads so that I can send, people that are watching my Facebook Lives, I can send them over there to get some free gift, all right? So if the course, now what you want is you want relevance through this entire process, okay? So let's say the course that I'm selling here, let's say that this course is about lead generation, all right? If I want to create a lead magnet so that I'm building an email list of targeted people who would be the ideal prospects to purchase my course on lead generation, what should my lead magnet be about? It should be about something to do with generating more leads. Now, it can be how to generate more leads on Facebook or how to generate more leads on Twitter or how to generate more leads with Snapchat. It could be very specific, right? Or it could just be something about generating leads in general. So for instance, I do actually have a lead magnet. It's my Instant Leads Playbook, which I've been using as a lead magnet. It works really, really well. So I'm going to use my Instant Leads Playbook to build my email list. It's a PDF ebook giveaway. I'm going to create a capture page for that. They're going to give me their email address, okay? And I'm going to be building my email list. All right? So I'm building my Facebook fan page and I'm building my email list here, okay? I'm sending people from my Facebook page, from the Facebook posts, from my Facebook Live, from my blog posts. All of them, I'm sending them, my call to action is to download my playbook to learn how to generate more leads, okay? And this is my long-term strategy for building a highly targeted audience so that I can then sell them my course. All right, does that make sense? Okay. From the people who now that I'm building my email list as well, so I'm building my Facebook page and I'm building my email list. With blog posts, adding on to this strategy, I can, without getting too far here. Now, I don't want to get too complicated here because I can jump into, several different marketing strategies. So I'm just going to stop this here and I'm going to keep it really simple, okay? So let's go back and focus on the webinar here. All right? So if we've been doing all of this, we're building our Facebook fan page, we're building our email list. Once we launch this webinar to sell our course, right? Now, all of our email leads that we've built, right? We're engaged and we're sending. So another way that we're engaging with our audience is we are sending emails, right? So on a regular basis, we're sending emails. Every single week, let's say 3 times per week, we're sending out emails, okay? So now what we can do when we launch this webinar is we can use our emails to drive people to the webinar. We can use Facebook Lives to drive people to the webinar. We can use ads to drive people to the webinar. We can use Facebook posts to drive people to the webinar, right? Remember, people that are opting in have opted in to learn about lead generation. We're going to be selling them a course on lead generation on the webinar, right? So everything's relevant and everything's really targeted. This right here, you can see now, this is a marketing strategy that we've developed focused on these 3 steps. And that's really all you need to ask yourself as you're developing your own marketing plan. So you can see how this simple, and it really is a pretty simple marketing strategy, is all based on these 3 steps of building your audience, engaging with your audience, and selling to your audience. And as you get inside the Online Profit Playbook membership and you study some of the case studies that we have in here, you study the different strategies, because there's so many different ways to do this, right? Whether you decide to use Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or blogging or video marketing or Facebook Live, whatever you decide to do, whatever it is that you're selling, it really doesn't matter as long as you build out and plan and strategize your marketing strategy based on these 3 steps. Okay? So to summarize, as you're building your marketing strategy, all you need to do is answer these questions. Where am I going to build my audience? And how am I going to do that? So when you're creating your daily method of operations or your weekly method of operations, you're simply deciding what activities am I doing every day and every week to build my audience. Okay? Whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, you make the choice. What activities am I doing to build my audience? And then at the end of the week, you can actually look back and you can say, okay, how did those activities work? First of all, did I do them? Second of all, how did my audience grow? So if I'm building an email list, how many new email leads did I generate? Right? How many new Facebook likes did I get? How many new Twitter followers did I get? How many new Instagram followers did I get? So you can literally track the success and the growth of your business with the numbers in your business. And you've got to be looking at this. You've got to be tracking this, because there's so many marketers that I see that are busy with different activities. They find it's so easy to stay busy in this industry because there's so many things that you can be doing. The problem is most of those activities are not translating into your business growing and creating leads and money in your business, right? What you need to be focused on to create success in 2017 is you need to be focused on these 3 key steps. You need to be focused on every single day and every single week building your audience. So what activities am I doing to build my audience? Write those down, make those choices, stick to them, execute on them. Second, what activities am I doing to engage with my audience? Well, I'm going to send 3 emails per week. I'm going to do 5 Facebook posts per day. I'm going to do a Facebook Live on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Awesome. Now you've got a plan to engage with your audience. Now the challenge now is to simply execute on that, okay? But that's the way that you develop your marketing strategy. And then finally, what am I doing to sell to my audience? So the first question you need to answer is, what am I selling to my audience? And I would encourage you to list down every single thing that you can sell to your audience. All your different income streams, all the different products and services that you could potentially sell. Okay? Because then you will find different ways to sell them. So then you ask, how am I going to sell them? And you can literally break this down for the next 30 days. You can decide, which of my products and services am I going to focus on selling for the next 30 days, and how am I going to sell it? Am I going to sell it through just sharing a link in my Facebook groups or on my Facebook posts? Am I going to share it through instant messenger, through having conversations? Am I going to share it on a webinar? Am I going to do it through a sales video? Am I going to do it through telephone consultations? How are you going to sell the products and services that you want to sell? And that is it. That is your entire marketing plan. That is all you need to focus on. Okay? So your challenge, your task, your homework right now, your assignment is to go ahead and create your plan for 2017. Based on these 3 steps. Because if you are actually executing, if you are actually doing the activities to grow your audience, if you are doing the activities to engage with your audience, and if you're doing the activities to sell to your audience on a daily and on a weekly consistent basis, you will make more money in 2017. It's guaranteed. But you must be doing the right activities. You must be executing on them. You must be consistent, and you must do it over a period of time. All right, I hope that this has been helpful for you. I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear your questions. I'd love to hear a little bit of engagement from you. I'd love to help you out. And again, I encourage you, if you are not a member of the Online Profit Playbook membership, I encourage you to sign up, get inside, and study the 54 case studies that we have back there. Have a look at what top marketers and rising stars are actually doing. You'll be able to see these marketing strategies. They'll outline these marketing strategies for you, the different ways, the different strategies that they're using right now to build their audience, to grow their audience, to engage with their audience, to generate leads, and to make sales. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I will see you next week.
I hope you enjoyed this week's Playmaker session. If you love the session, subscribe now to our YouTube channel so you never miss our weekly episodes. Be sure to also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Just type in Online Playmakers in the search bar and click subscribe, and be sure to leave a 5-star review. All of the episodes, show notes, transcripts, resources, and bonuses are available on the blog over at onlineprofitplaybook.com, along with several bonus free tutorials I've created for you as well. Your fast track to results is to follow the Playmakers. You can download their closely guarded playbooks and follow them step by step to grow your influence, build your audience, and create results in your business right now. Head over to onlineprofitplaybook.com and join the Playmakers to get full access today. Thank you again for joining us today, and be sure to tune in next week as we bring you another power-packed session with the top Playmakers online. This is Norbert Orlewicz signing off.